The city you live in, the city that you're thinking about investing in with this Airbnb strategy could be next, and I don't want you guys to get burned. We all hear the good factors about Airbnb. One, it's a short-term rental option. You can buy and use these different types of investment strategies where you can do a lease on a property and then go and Airbnb it and create a profit spread and rent that property out. A lot of us have heard about that, right? And that has led to an oversaturation of hosts. There are more Airbnb hosts now than there almost ever been in the history of Airbnb. And that oversaturation is causing many hosts to sit with vacant properties. These properties simply are not filling up because there are way too many of them. This is especially the case for some of the markets that are in the Sun Belt, where many investors flocked to during the pandemic. Now that that demand is going away, more people are choosing to go back to hotels when they travel. They want to just live in a hotel. You don't have to deal with the bad host experience, which many short-term renters have dealt with. They just don't want the nightmare. They want to just go to a hotel. They know what they're getting into. They're not as worried about being around people because of the pandemic. So that option has come back on the table, and it's taking away opportunity from Airbnb hosts. Oversaturation is a big issue, and it will be for the foreseeable future until more hosts get weeded out and cut out of the system.
Really fast, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel and leave a comment in the comment section that says I subscribed. For everyone who leaves that comment, I'm going to send you instant access to my free real estate training that shows you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country. You don't want to miss out on that free offer.
To complicate things even more, we have lower rents. Lower rents are not just hitting the Airbnb space and the short-term rental space. It's hitting the entire rental market space. Rents are getting reduced because more people are sitting with vacant properties now that the eviction moratorium is over. More people are evicting, more properties are sitting vacant, and a lot of areas where that artificial demand was and property builders were rapidly developing rental properties, as those people are getting called back to work and moving back into the city, that demand is going away. So all of these hedge funds that bought millions of properties out in the Midwest, the Sun Belt, those properties are now sitting vacant, and the rents are coming down to adjust for that, to try to attract new tenants. So as those rents are going down industry wide, they're also coming down on the Airbnb property. So an Airbnb project that you had that made a lot of sense when you could demand a certain short-term rent amount, as that rent amount decreases, it doesn't make as much sense because demand is just way down. Arguably, the most important thing to look out for is regulation. Regulation is hitting the Airbnb market for one big reason. The hotels, the original short-term rental landlords, they lost a lot of money during the pandemic because people wouldn't stay in hotels, right? So they lost all of this money to Airbnb hosts, and they want that money back. So the way that they're getting that money back is by lobbying, is by paying politicians to pass regulation in major cities that will increase the fees on Airbnb hosts to the point where it'll put 90% of the hosts out of business. In fact, New York City just joined the list of cities planning to pass new regulations to increase the fees on hosts and make the restrictions harder for people to be Airbnb hosts. They dropped a 30-page document with restrictions designed to make it more difficult for you to be an Airbnb host if that's what you're looking to do. And this is just driving up your costs. I've seen costs as high as $5,000 to $10,000 annual filing fees just to be a host. And the fines for not following these restrictions, which there are about 30 pages of restrictions just for New York City alone, they can be astronomical. They can really put you out of the business faster than you could believe. There are other cities like San Francisco, Arizona, Miami, Atlanta that have also placed restrictions. So your city could be next. The city you live in, the city that you're thinking about investing in with this Airbnb strategy could be next. And I don't want you guys to get burned. The reason that I love real estate personally is that there are over 101 ways to invest in real estate and make a ton of money. That's why I put together some free trainings for you guys. All you have to do is click the link in the description to tap in, and it'll show you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country, buy and hold rental properties that you can cash flow for the long term, set it and forget it, and you don't have to worry about this different regulation and all these different issues that are happening to the short-term rental industry. If you guys have any questions for me, you know how to get a hold of me. Click the link in the description, tap into my free training, and schedule a call where you can talk to me one-on-one. We can talk about how you can get started with your real estate investment career. I'm Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, signing off.